I'm Katie Stockton, and we are here with Annette Koberlein and John Myles, and they're traders who employ technical research in their work. So I'd love to hear a little bit about yourself and your background. Go ahead, Annette.
I started at Bear Stearns, and I got a trading job on the international desk and the REIT desk. And after the merger with JP Morgan, I ended up at SAC Capital, which is now Point72. And I trade for two teams, an industrial team and a tech team. It's fun.
How about you, John?
I've been trading for going on 25 years now, and I started in the pits in Chicago. Then I worked on regional exchanges as a regional specialist, and been on the buy side for 12 years now, and I love it. I love it, and I use technical analysis every day.
Yes.
Every day?
Every day.
Every day.
So I'd love for you to elaborate on that. How do you employ it typically? What kind of tools do you prefer?
Myself, if I get an order, I generally work my way in. I look at the weekly charts, then the going out 5 years or so, and then I look at a 1 year chart, 52-week chart. I like to use candlesticks as my default. I do generally a MACD on the bottom, and then simple 10 and 30-day moving averages. And I'll start there, and I work my way in, and then if I'm conversing with a portfolio manager or analyst, I keep it to weekly charts, bigger picture.
Okay.
When I have an order myself, I work all the way into 5 days, so I can figure out open, low, high, close, congestion levels, where the stock stops, and then intraday. And then I go and pick my spots intraday, and there I sometimes will use Fibonacci levels and just the fear and greed type of things.
Very good. And so it obviously helps your execution, it sounds like.
Yes.
And then do you use it at all for idea generation for the portfolio managers, or is it primarily
Fibonacci
or just in general?
In general, I find that bigger picture, weekly charts, some patterns, but really simple breakouts are the most compelling when you can back it up with solid momentum or a pattern that is easy to digest and easy to explain is the best way to go. And then again, maybe show them if something has become problematic, if a stock is a sell, I will use shorter charts and show broad, I'll show the broad picture, but say this is where it's breaking down, this is what we have to be cognizant of if this particular level gives way, and how to handle exiting or trimming.
Right. Makes sense. Very good. And what about you, Annette?
Focus a lot, since I'm executing the trades very quickly in the morning, on the past 3-day charts and the levels that have been incorporated into the price for the very short term at first, and that's what I do to take me through the morning generally. I look at chart grids that incorporate the entire book's charts for the same time frame, the 3 days, so I can see relative spatial moves of the current price. Like, is it really far away from the past 3 days? Is it just trending right within? There's 36 on the page, and then you can flip through the pages and you can switch the books and get a very quick view on what might be problems or issues, or really outperformers for the day, where you can kind of just keep an eye on them. And then as the afternoon approaches, you can start to slow down a little bit and go into the daily charts a little bit more. Just scan through, see if anything's standing out, and then send on anything that's popping.
I'm curious, now that I hear you talking about that with the 36 charts and what have you, I'd imagine both of you as traders have a lot of monitors on your desk. What percentage of that real estate is dedicated to charts typically? I'm always curious about that.
Mine's probably over a third. Mm-hmm. Because we have an order management system, and we have other things that we have up, and we're inundated, I'm sure you are, with emails and Bloombergs and chats and all that. But when I am working a stock, I like to, I'll configure it every day, GIP, Bloomberg charts, and however many orders I have, and I'll look at those. That's where my eyes will be most of the day.
Yeah, the names that you're trading in the moment, you put into individual chart windows, so you can keep an eye on them, and then then you just scan.
And then what percentage would you say is
Oh,
acidic?
yeah,
About
50.
a third?
Yeah,
Okay.
probably, yeah. Probably. Yeah,
Now, in terms of the indicators, you mentioned the MACD, and I've heard Fibonacci seems to be an overriding theme. You know,
Trading, it's fear and greed. It's
Right.
more visceral, or so it works.
Right.
Yeah.
that's been a theme.
I thought that was my
Yeah.
special sauce, but apparently not.
Well, in a way, the special sauce could be in how you're drawing these levels, and it
Right.
sounds like, Annette, you have a unique way of using them.
Well, not so much unique as I draw from highs and lows, but I listen to the chart. So if the chart has respected the levels, then I know I'm on the right pivots, and if the chart hasn't respected and I look back in time and none of it's clicking, I'm not on the right map. I'm not on the right grid. And I think just giving yourself that moment with the chart to kind of say, am I right here, am I wrong here,
Helps keep you honest.
because I think the levels are there. I think that pivots happen at these Fibonacci zones, but there's extremes and there's like secondary
Right.
pivots. So maybe the extremes aren't the right ones to measure from.
Also, it's got to be to me, I think it's a function of eyeballs and liquidity. So
Right.
something might be pinpoint perfect if it's something very liquid, but if it's
Exactly. Yeah, I
illiquid,
agree.
it's going to overshoot. Doesn't mean you're wrong. You know?
That's information in and of itself, really.
Sometimes you have to be willing to be wrong for
Right.
the liquidity. To more or less, this
right.
is where I want to buy it. If I have to take it for a little bit for the volume, I'll take it. But things may overshoot the smaller the cap.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm curious, off the subject, about your CMT exam or the CMT designation and how that's helped you both in your careers and how you've pursued your career paths.
I think it lent legitimacy to what it is that I was doing, and I always liked charts from the beginning because the people that I respected always knew their levels. So when I moved to the buy side and I learned about the CMT program, I thought, this is great. And it really does force you to read other people's views and and learn about so many other things and disciplines and process and the importance of those things. And then I think with confidence, you can then better share your ideas to analysts or a skeptic on why it works or why they should at least take heed. So.
Right, and it shows that you're going to continue to learn, and you get your charter, you've gone through hoops, you've pushed yourself, we don't have a lot of time during the day. I know all three of us don't have time during the day. So if you're going to take aside those hours at night, away from your family, away from just chilling with a hobby, it shows that you're dedicated, and that's important right now.
It does show a passion for the business and also, passion for what you're doing every day in terms of technical research. It's amazing that you both have your day jobs, but you're also able to employ this discipline, which is great. So this conference is always, it's not only fun, but it's enriching, of course. So I'm wondering what you have sort of taken away from the conference as an overriding message in what you do, or how you're going to apply it to what you do.
I love seeing how technicals are being embraced by the larger community. They did a share of hands by what role everybody had in the audience. I loved the money managers. I loved the analysts there. I think there were 5 traders in the audience. That makes me feel great. Yeah.
I think every trader should be a CMT.
I do too.
I do. I think
I do
every
too.
single, because it's process, it's discipline, it's.
There seems to
And
be a
there's-
trend towards that where
And there's
junior people in the desk are starting to.
even though there's different methods of trading, you can just know where to find the blocks. You can have those relationships. There's different methods. You can be better by understanding technicals well, because people are trading. People are making decisions off of them.
You're adding value.
Another thing I personally found great was, so the books that I had to read to get my CMT,
Right.
the authors are here,
Yes. I know.
Access to the people that
And
created
the-
the indicators.
Yes.
and the stories these guys are telling, and the stuff they've lived through is impressive, and
That's
and that there's a
Yeah.
theme too that they're like, got to keep learning. So
All new
thought-
things.
That's a very good takeaway. I would agree with
The
that.
dinners and how I wouldn't have known the people who founded the organization if it hadn't been for the gala dinners and honoring them, and I wouldn't have known their stories as much.
True,
I've
yeah.
loved that.